Hello my friends, Nick Libretti here with jrcigars.com. Time for another fantastic top 5 video. Today we're looking at something a little more budget friendly. We are looking at premium cigars with a price tag under $10. Something a little more accessible to everyone, but still, rank high in terms of flavor, construction, reliability. So here are our top 5 cigars for under $10 for 2022. First up, we have what I think is one of the most underrated cigars to come out of the My Father factory, the El Centurion. This was actually the first limited edition that the My Father factory did. The original run, I think, was only like 800 boxes. Now it's a little more accessible. Nicaraguan for the filler and binder, then using a sun-grown Criollo 98 wrapper. Medium to full body, a little nutty in there, but definitely heavy on the spice, very kind of spice forward. But flavor transitions from just about every puff, so a ton of complexity and a great price tag to go along with it. I think this cigar definitely needs more notoriety than it gets. Unfortunately, the My Father name brands kind of get a little more of a push. I think the El Centurion is one of the best cigars they've ever produced. Here we have the cigar that kind of revolutionized the Romeo brand, and I think helped revolutionize Altadis USA as well. This is the Romeo by Romeo and Julieta, the original one. This was a number 3 cigar of the year it came out. Definitely a departure. Romeo had fuller bodied cigars before this, but nothing that was this complex and nothing that was this nuanced, nothing that was this smooth while still providing a lot of flavor. Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, one of the best I think to ever do it. Dominican filler and binder, so a nutty kind of warm center there, but then some nice raisin-esque sweetness and spice coming off of that wrapper. Construction's great, burn is great, the price is great, everything about the cigar is just top notch. Here we have, this is actually a private label just for us from the legendary AJ Fernandez. This is the Nicaraguan series by AJ. Quintessential AJ smokes, you're gonna get a lot of flavor, you're gonna get a lot of great nuances, you're gonna get some nice earthy tones in this, but also some of that signature kind of tobacco sweetness that you find in brands like Ramon Allones, for example, that he does. That kind of dark fruit tobacco sweetness. Very well priced, aged tobacco, Nicaraguan for the filler, binder, and the wrapper. A very good representation of what AJ is capable of, and even at this price point, he's really doing some of his best work. Next up, another one coming out of the My Father factory, but this is under the Tatuaje flag. The Tatuaje Black Label in the Petite Lancero size. I think this size really encapsulates the best of this line. Tatuaje Black is one of the more popular kind of, I don't want to say everyday, but available Tatuajes. Unlike the Monster series or any of those that are kind of hard to find, you can pretty much find Tatuaje Blacks, at a lot of places, including at JR Cigars. Sun-grown Criollo wrapper coming out of Nicaragua filler and binder, of course. Just very smooth, a good amount of spice to it, but nothing too crazy. I wouldn't say it's very flavor forward. It's more, you gotta look for the nuances there, but when you find them, especially on the retrohale, and you see that puff to puff, distinguishing between each puff, like you're gonna get a little something different, a little something more, then a little something less, a little richer here, a little sweeter there, a little more spice here. Really, once everything comes into play, it's truly a masterpiece. And for a Tatuaje, under $10, absolutely remarkable. And lastly, a third cigar from My Father who can really produce top-notch cigars at a lower cost to the consumer. We have the Don Pepin Garcia. This is the Cuban Classic, also known as the Black Edition. This was the first premium cigar to come out of the modern My Father factory that we know. This was before the My Father lines. There was the Jaime Garcia, there was the Don Pepin Blue. These were the kind of original cigars that Pepin Garcia produced when he entered the American market. And this is a great precursor to what was to become. It has a lot of the foundational elements of a My Father. I don't want to say it's rough around the edges, but you see a little more refinement in something like the Le Bijou, but you're talking that cigar is probably $6, $7 more per cigar than this. So I don't want to call it a budget My Father, but that's essentially what it acted as. Habano Rosado wrapper is going to give you a lot of that nice spice that you find on the kind of more on the original My Father than the Le Bijou. That very spice forward, but still nuanced, still calm, still subtle, but a lot of nice spicy flavor. A quintessential kind of Nicaraguan smoke of this era, of the early 2000s when they were, people were first transitioning to this kind of more full body, more flavorful cigars, a great representation of that. And like I said, you see the brilliant elements in this cigar throughout that kind of come full circle with the My Father. You see the hints of it here at a much lower cost. Still a fantastic cigar on its own. If My Father never existed, the brand that is, this would still be a top-notch, highly rated cigar. And at that price point, you really can't beat it. Well, there you have it, my friends. Our top 5 cigars under $10 for 2022. Put in the comments, what are some of your favorite cigars that kind of hit that $10 or below price point? Make sure to subscribe, watch, like, and comment. And as always, check out our amazing selection of cigars only at JR Cigars.